Hey guys, welcome back. We are on day 3, I think, of our back to school week. If you've missed the previous videos, I've already shared with you guys our group subjects for the year, as well as some of the individual subjects and our plan for why we're not actually doing any of that right away. Today's video is going to be all about our morning basket as well as my mommy morning basket. But of course it wouldn't be a back to school week video if there wasn't a giveaway. So as always, details will be listed down below in the description box. But today I'm going to be giving away a $50 gift card to Target. So you can get school supplies if you still need them, if maybe you need something for your homeschool room, or maybe you just need something for you. Whatever you want to do with it, the $50 to Target is yours. It is one of my very favorite places to shop. So all the information to enter will be down below in the description box. But of course, as always, you got to leave me a comment and you got to tell me, like, what's the one thing you need to start your morning every day? Is it coffee? Do you need like a little bit of quiet time? Do you need a ice cold cup of water? Like, what is it? What do you need in the mornings to get yourself like up and going? Is it music? Tell me what you need in the mornings down below. All right, so let's get into this. A morning basket, I think, is a fabulous way to start your morning, especially if you are like me and my family, and sometimes we kind of drag a little bit in the mornings and getting up can be kind of like, oh, I don't really want to do this, especially when you have like slightly older kids who don't really want to get out of bed. I think morning baskets are fantastic. A way to just kind of ease everybody into the school day, as well as allow you to utilize different things if you don't want to have to like commit to doing all of something, or you want to be able to mix things up and get in a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Morning baskets really, I think, give you that flexibility. So, and that's how we utilize it. So you're going to see that there's stuff pertaining mostly to my younger kids, and then there's stuff that pertains more to my older kids. And we kind of just go through and I pick things out and I just sort of cycle through it in the mornings. And it's how we like to start our mornings. So I will often put whatever read aloud book we're using, not the one that we're using for school, like in terms of for our history, more from our stack of read alouds that are like just books that we're really interested in. They don't necessarily tie into any other school subject. They're just books that we're interested in and want to read. So that will sometimes be in here, but obviously we haven't started yet, so I don't have that in here. But we are going to be, one of the things we're going to be doing is I will typically do younger Bible study with my younger kids during this time, because I do have a Bible curriculum that I do with my older kids in Apologia. So I will usually shuffle between something like, this is 100 illustrated devotions for children. I have this old Bible story book. This is something my mom used to read to us when we were in homeschool, and it's just Bible stories. So we'll read from there as well. And then I also am going to be working through this with my kids. I'm going to see as I go through it if it's how it applies to the different ages of my kids, but it's called My Brother's Keeper, Learning to Love Your Siblings God's Way. And I really want to do something with all of my kids to really encourage them to step up and be really great siblings to each other. I think we live in a world that's very me, 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 and we all know that, especially at home, we can tend to like hurt the ones we love the most, right? So sometimes we save the ugly sides of our personality for people at home, and I really want to encourage my kids to be kind to each other and to take care of each other and all of that. So I'm going to see how we can work through this together. Like I said, I think it's more geared for older kids, but we'll see as we get into it. And then I do have this one for my older girls to do if I'm doing something that's a little below their level and they want to do something else. This is Live in Light, 5-minute devotionals for teen girls. So I thought my older two might be able to sit down and kind of do this one together in the mornings as well. And then some of the books that we'll be kind of just working through, we have the Who Was History of the World. I like the Who Was books, and I like that this is just sort of the history of the world, so it's not anything super specific in terms of time frame or people or anything like that. It's just a blanket, we'll just read a page or two from it every day, probably just one from it in the mornings. And as you guys know, we are moving to like sort of a little mini farm property. So we are going to be doing a little bit of like drawing, art, not necessarily nature journaling, but we're going to go through this farm anatomy book, and it's got like stuff about tractors and different kind of herbs and stuff. So we'll probably just use this as like sort of an art exercise, hanging out together, just drawing, talking through these things. And we might even like do some of the little activities and stuff that are in here, but showing like different kinds of squash and stuff. So it's good for just like art, conversation, talking, that sort of thing. And then I'm also going to be doing a little bit of Life of Fred. I have this full series and I really like this. And so we'll probably just be reading through this to talk through some math concepts with my younger three mostly. We'll utilize this, kind of talking through some Life of Fred stuff. And then while we're doing that with some of my younger ones, I'll have my older ones do this real world math, which is just, again, like teaching like very practical real world math stuff. We've done a little bit of this, but not a ton. So it just helps them to understand math in the wild, if you will, when you're actually making budgets and buying things and stuff like that. So just a fun little add-in that I want to get in, but it's not really part of anybody's curriculum. So that's what I like the morning basket for, is stuff like this. And the other thing that we're going to continue working through, and I've talked about this a whole bunch, is this Coping Skills for Kids workbook. I think this is so fabulous, and using this together as a family where we are all kind of talking through it together and the concepts together and the little like practices, maybe it's a breathing practice or something like that, and we're all doing it together, so it doesn't feel like, especially if you've got one kid that's like could really benefit from this, it doesn't feel so much like being singled out for lacking of coping skills. I've said before, I think even adults can benefit from this, so it's great to work through together and just do an activity from this. So that's kind of, again, we're not going to necessarily do every single thing every single day, but you know, like I said, doing a coping skills exercise together, doing a little bit of math, breaking that up, doing a little bit of like art, drawing, conversation stuff with the farm book, maybe reading a page from Who Was, and then doing the Bible time. So either individually with the younger ones, and then hopefully something we can do together with the Brother's Keeper. So all in all, and maybe reading 20 minutes from their read aloud. So all in all, an hour probably on a morning basket is sort of the max that I want to do. And if we find that either we're getting done too quickly, then we can always add things in, but that's usually not the case. Usually it's taking longer than we anticipated, so I can kind of pluck things out and move them around. But that's what I really like about a morning basket, is the ability to kind of do that, add in things that we're interested in, especially if I see a book that doesn't really fit in any category, but I want us to like go through it or read it or talk through it. I can add it into the morning basket, and we can add that into our routine. So that's how I use a morning basket. Now, in terms of my mama morning basket, I am creating my own morning basket for myself. The last few months, I've been waking up earlier and earlier. And I know that once we move and I have, like I said, like sort of farm chores, critters to take care of, animals that need to be fed and all that kind of stuff, some of the older kids will get up and help with that. But once our garden is coming in and I need to take care of that kind of stuff, I just want to have some quiet time for myself, something that it's always hard, but our youngest is about to turn 1. And so I feel like when you've got a little baby, it's really hard to wake up before your kids, but my goal is always to wake up before my kids and get a little bit of time in for myself. So I've sort of created my own little morning basket here with some stuff that I can sit down and go through, whether it's a book that I'm reading but picking at, you get some of those books that are just like very meaty, and so you kind of just need to take them in bite-sized pieces and pick through them, and little devotionals or Bible studies. So that's what I have in here currently to start, is obviously my Bible. And once I have my actual little basket, I'll add in my notebook and my pencils and stuff like that to my basket. But because we're in the process of moving, I don't have all that. Hopefully you guys can not hear my child screaming. She's in there with her dad, but she just is a very loud child. So I've also added in When Words Fail, a study of Psalms. This is from Proverbs 31. So that's kind of like my Bible study. And then this is like a devotional daily challenges, Wife in Pursuit, 31 daily challenges for loving your husband well. So I'm going to add that in. And then this book that I am enjoying, but again, it's one of those that it's like, when I have to think a lot, I need to like take it in bite-sized pieces. And this is What the Robin Knows, How Birds Reveal the Secrets of the Natural World. I'm fascinated by this. So that is everything that I have right now in my mama morning basket. But like I said, I'll add in my little notebook for taking notes and just a little pack of pens and markers and stuff like that. I don't do a whole lot of like the Bible journaling, crafty stuff. I've tried so many times, I just can never keep up with it. So just a good old pen and notebook is good enough for me. It makes me happy. All right, that is everything for morning morning baskets. I will link anything that I can down below in the description box for you guys. Don't forget to enter today's giveaway and come back for the next few days, because back to school week is not over. There's still giveaways every day. So be sure to come back tomorrow and the day after and such. Back to school week is not over yet. Not until the fat lady sings, you know? So that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.